A transformation happens in the 24 hours before you fly home. You pack your luggage, and you pack a different self, the successful self, the one who made it. You check the designer suitcase, the one probably bought on credit, filled with gifts you're not even sure they'll like. And as the plane descends, breaking through the clouds, revealing the green patches of rice paddies or the dense lights of Saigon, you feel it. It's not just excitement, it's pressure. You practice the smile you'll have to wear for the next 3 weeks, a smile that says, everything is wonderful, even when you've just left a life in America that feels like it's falling apart. This is the story of the things we don't dare to say. The invisible weight we carry home. The moment you walk through the customs gate, the performance begins. The hugs are real, but the expectations are heavy. You are viet-kieu, a living symbol of the American dream. And the American dream, in the eyes of our relatives, is paved with gold. They hear $100,000 a year, and they see a billionaire. They don't see the $3,500 in rent in San Jose. They don't see the $800 car payment. They don't see the 35% tax bracket and the student debt that is crippling you. They don't understand that $100,000 in California can make you feel poorer than $20,000 in Saigon. And so, the requests begin. They're subtle at first. The extravagant dinners where everyone looks at you when the bill arrives. The, by the way, nephew, your aunt has this little business idea. You become a walking ATM. And the password is guilt. The hardest word to say in Vietnamese isn't a complex one. It's no. Because saying no to money doesn't just mean I can't. It's heard as I don't want to. It's heard as I've forgotten you. But the biggest unspoken thing isn't just about the amount of money. It's about the concept of money. We, the children of the diaspora, are living in two completely different financial universes. My uncle once asked me to chip in for a piece of land. He said, just take a little out of your retirement fund. You're young, you'll make it back. He said it with such casual confidence. How could I explain a 401k to him? How could I explain that it isn't a piggy bank? That it's a legally locked, tax-advantaged box? And that breaking into it means paying penalties that would make him faint? For his generation, the best retirement plan was us, their children. And this is the paradox we don't dare speak. In America, me putting money into my 401k is my act of filial piety. It is me ensuring that one day I will not be a financial burden to my children. I am honoring my parents' sacrifice by not repeating their financial model. But how do you explain that? Without sounding cold. We carry other debts too, not just financial, but emotional. We are the children of sacrifice. Our parents gave up everything, their country, their language, their identity, so that we could have this. We are the living monuments to their pain. And with that comes a lifelong implicit contract. We suffered so you could succeed. Your success must justify our suffering. So we don't talk about the loneliness. We don't talk about the microaggressions at work. We don't talk about the therapy sessions or the anxiety medication. It's the ultimate taboo. You can't be the child of refugees and be sad. It feels like a betrayal. It feels ungrateful. So when the family in Vietnam asks, "Are you well?" we say, "Yes, I'm well. Everything is good. Everything is good." It is perhaps the biggest, kindest, most painful lie we tell. They don't see the invisible costs. My sister in Houston pays $17,000 a year for one child in daycare. That is more than an engineer's salary in Vietnam. When she says she can't send $2,000 for a family emergency, her relatives are confused. How can she afford her American life, but not her family? They don't realize that the $17,000 is the price she pays for not having them, for not having Ong Ba to pick up the kids from school. The money we send home, is it help or is it a transaction? Is it a poor substitute for the family we left behind? Many of us are stuck in the middle. We are the sandwich generation. We are balancing the future of our children in America with the past of our parents in Vietnam. We are pulled in two directions across a 9,000-mile ocean. We are expected to be fully American at work, assertive, independent, competitive. Then, we are expected to be fully Vietnamese at home, deferential, communal, and self-sacrificing. The truth we don't dare say is that we are neither, and we are both. We are a new hybrid, and we are tired. We are tired of being the bridge. A bridge is a beautiful thing, but it is also the thing that gets stepped on from both sides. For years, we've upheld the culture of saving face. We thought it was to protect our parents' pride, but maybe we were protecting ourselves. What if the bravest, most Vietnamese thing we could do wasn't to silently provide, but to bravely be honest? But we don't. Because we are terrified. We are terrified that if we show them our reality, the debt, the doubts, the depression, they won't just see a person who is struggling. They will see a failed investment. I remember the call. My father needed $5,000. It wasn't a request, it was a statement of fact. My hands were shaking. I had just lost my job, but I hadn't told anyone. I was looking at my dwindling savings. I had two choices. Choice one, maintain the lie, drain my emergency fund, send the money, and put my own small family in America at risk. The path of the good son. Choice two, tell the truth. I chose the truth. I told him, "Dad, I lost my job." The silence on the other end of the line was the loudest sound I've ever heard. It stretched across the Pacific. I waited for the disappointment, the anger, "Then what did we send you there for?" And then he just said, "Oh, God, are you eating enough? Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself first." He didn't see a failed investment. He just saw his son. In that moment, I realized the unspoken thing wasn't just my financial struggle. It was his unconditional love. He, too, was wearing a mask. The mask of the stoic patriarch who needed to be provided for. We were two generations, trapped in the same play. And all it took was one word of truth to set us both free. We, the children of the diaspora, are not just a source of remittances. We are not just a story of escape and success. We are a story of complexity, the things we don't dare to say. Maybe it's time we start saying them, not with anger but with empathy. Maybe success isn't the house we buy for our parents. Maybe success is the honest conversation we finally have with them. Maybe true wealth isn't the money we send home. It's the ability to build a new kind of family, one based not on obligation, but on authentic connection. The point isn't to choose between being Vietnamese or being American. The point is to have the courage to be both, and neither. The point is to show our parents that the greatest return on their investment wasn't our money. It was our happiness, our peace. And maybe the most important thing we don't say is thank you, not just for the sacrifice, but for giving us a problem so complex that in solving it, we are forced to find out who we truly are. And maybe, just maybe, we also need to learn to say, "I'm sorry. Sorry for judging their expectations, just as we have been judged by them. We are angry they see us as an ATM. But have we, at times, been guilty of seeing them as a burden? We are all more complicated than the roles we've been assigned. This journey home, it's more than a 17-hour flight. It's a journey into our past. When we land, we aren't just visiting a country. We are visiting the ghosts of the lives our parents could have lived. We walk through the markets, and we see the life of the mother who could have been a vendor. We pass an old university in Hanoi, and we see the father who could have been a professor. We carry those parallel lives with us. And when we are asked for money, we are not being asked by our 70-year-old uncle. We are being asked by the collective memory of a family that knows what it feels like to lose everything. They don't see our 401k or our mortgage. They see security, and they are terrified of losing it again. They are not greedy. They are scarred. And what about us? We are scarred too. We are scarred by the pressure to be perfect, the pressure to be the model minority. We are the generation that was taught to put our heads down, work hard, and never complain. So we don't complain. We just internalize. We internalize the debt, the guilt, the 12-hour workdays. We are so afraid of disappointing our parents that we are disappointing ourselves. And isn't that the ultimate betrayal of their sacrifice? They fled a war so we could be free. And here we are, living in a new kind of prison, a prison of our own unspoken words. The plane isn't just full of gifts. It's full of unhealed, intergenerational trauma, packed neatly in a carry-on bag. So what's the solution? It's not a budget spreadsheet. It's not a clever script to say no. The solution is vulnerability. The next time you go home, what if the gift you bring back isn't an iPhone? What if the gift is your truth? What if you sat down with your parents, not as the viet-kieu savior, but as their child, and you just talked? You might be surprised. You might find that the person you were most afraid of disappointing is the only one who truly understands. The things we don't dare to say, they are the very things that will, in the end, bring us home. My story is just one story, and this is a conversation that is long overdue. We are all part of this beautiful, complicated, global Vietnamese family. So, I want to ask you, what is the one thing you have never dared to say when you go home? What is the invisible weight you are carrying? Share your story in the comments below. Let's make this a space where we can finally speak. If this story resonated with you, if you felt seen, please subscribe. We have so much more to talk about.